Let me get this straight. You blew up a building.
2 CIs and the CEO of 22andU.
2 competing federal agencies with the same mission.
I don't understand why those Fed a-holes are so darn mean.
To protect the public from the scourge of dangerous misinformation.
You know those bum idiots. This is all them. We have a solid case.
The word entrapment, not even in their vocabulary.
The explosives we provided were fake.
Sworn to a duty to always tell the truth.
We have no indication at this time that this was a deliberate act.
We're all being transferred.
To where?
The only place currently with openings. Alaska.
Good morning.
Welcome to the office, huh?
And we got the retro feel. You know, the funny about federal buildings, they're all different, but they're still somehow all the same.
Oh, good morning, Agent Walker. At the coffee station. We actually drew straws before he got here, and I won, so we get to work together.
Let's get started. Let's see if we can't stir something up.
Let's give it a minute. I like to warm up the truth muscles a little coffee beforehand.
Well, what do you want to do first?
What do we have for a surveillance van?
Oh, wow. I got a Ford Explorer. We don't have a surveillance van.
Do you put many cases here?
Cases?
Yeah, cases. We're the tip of the spear when it comes to protecting American democracy.
You really believe this? You really believe that people posting crap online is going to cause our country to crumble?
I think the work that we do is important.
We don't have a surveillance van.
Me and some people got one. We've never needed one.
We need a surveillance van. We need a big case or a CI who can lead us to a big case.
What do you need the van for?
Surveillance.
CIs, or confidential informants, are the lifeblood of any good law enforcement agency. Public posts on social media are one of the best ways to find CIs. Agents would never use coercion or take things out of context to try and persuade someone to become a confidential informant.
The new Taylor Swift single is absolute fire. I'm just seeing a lot of incendiary and violent language here.
Agents always need to be on their toes and ready to make snap decisions.
Is there anything I can do for you guys? Actually, David, there is something you can do for us.
Chicky nuggies.
Chicken nuggies.
What?
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. McDonald's cheeseburger.
Burger King.
Burger King cheeseburger.
Flame broiled.
Chicken nuggies.
Oh, baby, know you're gonna like it. I wanna be your beaver pilot. Said, honey, know you're gonna like it. I wanna be.
Awesome, right?
Is this a loner?
This thing's totally legit.
What is this? It's got windows!
All right. Hello. Welcome to Tuesday night. We are rocking and rolling here. It is Tuesday night late on the East Coast. It's only 6:30 here in Alaska. So, that's one of the advantages of living in Alaska is you get, is it too hot for your phone outside? So we're so early on everything. Like football games on Sundays, they start at 9 in the morning. The late game comes on at 4 in the afternoon. So it's actually not bad here, living 4 hours behind the East Coast. I don't mind it at all. But anyway, yep, we are live. Like I said, I am live. Yes, I am. Just, figuring this stuff out here. Yes, Kat is home. All of the animals are very happy to see her. Everybody made it through. Everybody made it. I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself that all the sheep, all of the chickens, all of the dogs had no issues whatsoever. So, yep. And she's happy. She's happy that everybody is still kicking. She's like, you did okay. I'm like, yes, I did. I did all right.
Yes,
Getting a pat on the shoulder there. So yeah, we had fun. It was, I mean, it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, but we made the best of it. And it's work, but it's not that bad.
I tried to make it as easy
Yep.
as possible.
I didn't have to change out bales or anything, so that's good. But yeah, no, everything's it's going pretty good. We are up to, I'll give you a little update on the ad campaign, which I don't know. We'll see how long I keep this going. Let's see where. Channel dashboard. We are up to 6,621 current subscribers to the channel. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it, even if I don't know if those are real or not. But hey, it looks good. It's good metrics when you're like, yeah, my channel's got 6,621 subscribers. What do you do? So, yeah, no, I'm appreciative. I'm hoping this. I started this other campaign, and it's not working. So I had another had a conversation with my ad person today, and we made some other fixes that will hopefully get this thing running, but it's pending and under review. So until it's reviewed, I won't know if that's working or not. So we will see. And dogs, what the? 15-year-old dogs don't care where they walk, do they? No, they don't. 15-year-old dogs say, I'm going to walk here and knock everything over. So anyway, that's our update there. And yeah, we don't have anything planned as far as doing any filming yet, but that is on the horizon. So we'll probably start doing some more filming here, hopefully soon. Get some more stuff down that we can edit, put out, get at least one more episode to put out there. So we'll see. But yeah, so what do we got? What else is going on? There's just so much in the news to try and keep up with. The Texas thing right now. So they're mad that Texas is trying to redistrict. Democrats are mad that Texas wants to redistrict their state. And so some of the people went to Illinois to try and get away from that. Well, there's a problem with that. This right here is the map, the district map of Illinois. If you can see this. This is how they have partitioned up, and this is a Democrat-controlled legislature. So this is how they have divvied up the districts in Illinois. And they're complaining that Texas wants to gerrymander their state. Oh, but they're also going to New York. Well, let's see what the New York looks like. Let's just see. New York. Congressional districts. I mean, it's a little bit better, I guess. but it's still kind of weird. I mean, you've got this area here, then you got, I mean, this part of the state makes sense. This kind of makes sense. Like it's fairly well done. This thing kind of looks weird. And then let's look at the New York City ones. Can I zoom in on this map? Yeah. Oh, I know. They're like, we're not even going to participate. We're just going to go to all these other states. And so, I don't know. It's so crazy. Oh, did I not? I probably didn't share that. Damn it. So, I mean, they divide these states up. California is another one. California, they just recently redistributed California. So they can have more Democrat seats. So this up here, that makes sense. But then once you start getting down here, it's a mess. Los Angeles kind of, I mean, they do this. Both sides do it. If you've got the votes, you can get it done. It's legal. But of course, when one side does it, the other side, one sides are like, you beat us. And the other side's like, oh, well, it's your tyranny if you do this. It's tyranny. Oh. But, it's... The problem is if we had any faith in Congress to do anything, no matter who the hell is in there, then it would make a difference. But it doesn't, because I was talking about it the other day. I work in the construction field, and there's a thing called BABA. All right, and that is the Buy America, Build America Act, right? Buy America, Build America Act. So, if we look at this, the Buy America, Build America Act, BABA. And that is so cringe. I don't like the freaking, I mean, Buy America Act is that's one thing, right? But the Buy America, Build America Act was enacted as part of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which I don't even want to get into that because that was just a handout. So the act mandates that all iron, steel, manufactured products, which basically means everything, and construction materials used in federally funded infrastructure projects must be produced in the United States. So Congress enacted this act and said, you have to use stuff that is manufactured in the United States. Congress has also, over the last 50 years, made it 100 times easier to shift all of our manufacturing overseas so we don't actually build anything. So the same people in Congress, a lot of them are still there because some of these people have been there for 20, 30, 40 years. These same people that said, let's make it easier for corporations to make more profits by shipping manufacturing overseas where they don't have to pay the wages of Americans. They don't have to worry about safety concerns. They don't have to worry about environmental concerns. Let's let all of the construction and all of the manufacturing go to China and India and other countries, the developing countries. And then 30 to 40 years later, we're going to say, well, if the federal government's paying for it, it's got to be made in America. But you didn't let us, you made it so easy for these companies to ship their stuff overseas. Now you're telling us, and it's a pain in the butt. It is. On a bigger project and, a lot of time, we're electrical. So we have one aspect of a big project, right? So if you're building a building or a port or any kind of major infrastructure project that has federal funding in it, then every bit of that construction material either has to be manufactured in the United States or you have to get a waiver for it. The problem is there are waivers available, but there's all kinds of criteria that you have to put in place. And you see, like the Act allows for waivers under specific circumstances where applying the Buy America preference would be inconsistent with the public interest. If the necessary materials are not available in sufficient quantities or satisfactory quality, or if including U.S.-made materials would excessively increase the project cost by more than 25%. But you have to prove this. You can't just say, oh, it's not available here. You have to prove that. And so every single item that is subject to this act, you have to go through. You have to either have a certification from the manufacturer that it is made here, or you have to have the waiver form, and you have to prove your work that in the waiver form that it is an undue burden on the project. So it is basically, so they say that, yes, this act was put in place because they want to promote job creation. Well, you've created jobs because you've created a whole bunch of layers of project management that have to track the stupid BABA requirements. So that's the jobs that you've created. You've created project management jobs just to hunt down certificates or waivers or try to find materials from a manufacturer in the United States where a lot of it has shifted overseas. And it's been a process. I've watched it happen over the last 20 years. Longer than that now. 26 years in the industry. And I've watched manufacturers just like, I went on a tour of a manufacturing plant in Illinois back in the early 2000s. And I watched went through the plant, and they were proud of the bolts and the anchors and stuff that they made. This company started making anchors way back in the day, and then they shifted on to other kinds of hardware for the electrical industry. And they had recently bought the machines to make bolts from a company that had gone out of business. So they'd like doubled their capacity to make bolts and things like this. And so all of the bolts that they supplied and a lot of the other specialty hardware was all made in Missouri and other places. And they had a plant in Mexico, but that was usually acceptable under the old, I don't remember what it was called now, whatever act that was. That Mexico and Canada was under. But they shipped all because other companies started doing, and so they just, they blamed the other companies and said, oh, well, this, well, they did it, so we got to do it to keep up. And so they just basically started shifting all of their manufacturing over to China. Started with random parts like bolts and washers and nuts, and then it got into the specialty hardware. So you basically have got no options or very few options left in the United States. So it's not fun. But it's, like I said, this is made to create jobs. Well, they created a bunch of jobs. All right, that's my rant. It's one of my rants for today. So what else we got? We have Right. Benjamin, what are you doing, buddy? You brush your teeth. So it looks like, so we've heard of big balls, right? From Doge. Doge, the guy they call Big Balls. His actual name is Ed Korstein. And I guess the dude really lived up to his name because, see, this is him the other night. He got the crap beat out of him. Why did he get the crap beat out of him? Well, he witnessed a young woman was being carjacked by a group of teenagers and jumped in to save them and got the crap beat out of him. I mean, that's pretty rough right there. There he is looking in better times. So he didn't, a lot of people would have just pulled out their phone and started recording. Big Balls actually jumped in and said, nope, not going to happen while I'm looking. And jumped in and said, I am not having this. I am going to intervene. Oh, can you let Kyra in? Sorry. I got a dog barking at me. Or barking to be let in anyway. So I'm hiding this because I don't want, because if I search Big Balls on X, God only knows what's going to show up. So I am hiding this for now. And I think there was a couple of I think Elon had put something out.
Come inside. Let's go.
Yep. All right, we can share this tab. So a few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried, about a dozen. I mean, there was like a dozen people in this freaking thing. It's like a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car. A Doge team member who saw what was happening ran to defend her and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. It's time to federalize DC. So, yeah, it's just, yeah. It's really, there's a lot of places that just are not safe right now. And everybody needs to be on their toes. I better hide that while I'm going through there because something's going to pop up. So if you live in a big city, especially, man, it's just tough right now. It really is. So yeah, that popped up. That's just breaking. I guess it happened a few days ago, but we're just now hearing about it. So not sure what the yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it took a couple days to get out, but it's out now. So just protect yourself. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there was you know, every single night in Portland there is a bunch of people outside the ice facility. And if you even try to, like, if you even want to report on that, you end up getting beaten up, which is what happened. So this person here is a, let me see, share this tab instead. Honey Badger Mom is her handle. And this is, I haven't seen this, so this is kind of her statement on it. It's a little long, so we'll just kind of. So yeah, she got the crap beat out of her the other night because you're not allowed to even report on these people.
I haven't really talked much yet about what happened the other night. That's my dog, one of them. I need to pet her. But I wanted to talk about what happened, and I'll see if I can do it without making notes. It was a pretty boring night on Saturday night. I had been at ICE the night before, and I wasn't going to go, but I had a friend who called up and asked if I was going, and he wanted to go with me to provide security. And Nick, and he is this really big dude. Every time he's called me, he's calling from the gym. He's lifting weights. So I said, sure, I'll go down there and you come with me. And that was Friday night, and we had a great night down there, actually. Nothing much happened, but I actually talked to a lot of the protesters. There were some that were friendly to me, and it turns out that was a really good thing that I got to connect with a few people there, because they were the ones, besides Katie and Ryan, that helped me the next night. Anyway, so I kind of was fooled into thinking, oh, it's fine now. You know, this is a really mellow group of people for the most part. There are people that were mouthy, but nobody that struck me like that was left there that was very violent. So it's dog hair. Anyway, Saturday night I got there late and Katie was there, and I actually met another person, another woman that's been filming down there, and we chatted and talked about some things we'd seen, and she didn't want to go down there alone, so she walked over with me and talked to some of the same protesters that I'd talked to the night before, and they were friendly, and they were the ones that actually helped me. And I'm grateful, very grateful for that. There's some decent.
All right, I'm going to speed this up a little bit.
There. Anyway, they do the shift change, which is when I usually leave after, because it's a 2-hour drive home for me. And the shift change was really low key. And I was in particular looking to film somebody in particular that I had talked to, also another person that had helped me later. And nothing really happened, but I had this woman get in my face, somebody who'd been very aggressive to me before, and she stuck a sign right up to my camera which was right next to my face, and it blocked my whole view. So I just, with these fingers, took the bottom corner and pulled it down out of the way, and it fell out of her hands. And I was still filming, and I turned to like get a better view, get away from her, and she attacked me from behind. It was just, and it turned into an instant melee. She punched me in the head, I don't know how many times, and in my side, I have a bruise under my on my boob, on my right hand side.
These people get away with this too much. There needs to be, they need to not be able to get away with it.
And then this part is really sore, but I've got a couple knots in the back of my head, which does not feel great. And the whole time I was like, I cannot lose my phone. She broke my phone off of its metal hook that was attached to my body. And so I'm like, I actually stomped on my phone because there was somebody in block trying to grab it. And that became a thing. She's punching me while I'm trying to keep track of my phone, which is very important that I don't lose it. I finally get it picked up, and she stopped hitting me. I don't know how long it went on, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I don't know, but she punched me several times. So I got on. I don't cry on camera. So I got on the phone with 911, and they were asking me if I would, where I was, and I couldn't think. I was in shock. I just said, I'm in front of the ice building, and all I could think was the police aren't going to come because I said I was in front of the ice building, and I said, I'm going to walk across the street, and I think it's Bond and something, and she kept telling me, can you leave? And by the time I'd walked across the street, I was completely mobbed. That first bit of violence, I didn't know it at the time, but Katie was getting attacked at the same time that I was by somebody else. And if anybody's ever been around mobs, you know what happens when that match gets lit, how people just go crazy.
It's just insane. It's insane.
So then I had a whole bunch of people coming at me and filming me and yelling at me and getting closer to me. And the lady on the 911 call is saying, I need you to leave the area and go find the police. Can you leave the area? And I finally actually said, I can't effing leave the area. I am surrounded. And then I started to focus on the people in front of me. And I'm like, I saw this one person that was encroaching into my space closer and closer, very aggressive body language. And I'm like, I need you to get back. You need to get back. You need to get back. I look kind of almost calm in the video, but I was terrified. And I said, I'm going to pepper spray you if you don't get back. And they kind of like stepped forward, and I warned her, and I just sprayed her whole face, thinking it would stop her. Did not stop her. In fact, the look on her face, I've seen people be pepper sprayed before. I've only deployed it now 4 times since 2017 in very dangerous situations all over the West Coast. And the look on her face was not the typical look that I've seen when I've seen other people get pepper sprayed by the cops or whatever. Usually it's shock and like, you just want to get away. And she just looked enraged. Okay, fair. I did tell her, warn her, but it didn't matter. Anyway, she just ran right at me, and she hit me so hard, she lifted me right out of my tennis shoes that are not loose. Like the next thing I know, I am in this like hole in the sidewalk that has plants in it, and she is just punching me. Wherever she can.
Oh,
and
cool.
The weird thing is, I say
Yay.
she. I assumed it was a she because this person did not hit like a man. I know men hit harder than that. I know it. Even a smaller man hits way harder than that. But it still hurt. And so I'm like, this is a woman, and she was like mushy, like there was just all she had on her was fat and no muscle. So I was thinking, this is a woman, and I just was like, all I could think was, where did my phone go? Where did my phone go?
Just hit back. That's the thing.
Because they'll take your phone, and I was on the line with 911, so it was open. And I ended up, the protesters, some of the ones I had been talking to, pulled her off me. And I will say that there are leftist accounts online that are completely excoriating these people for helping me, saying I deserved it. And
these people have no real value to society. The people that are day and night just terrorizing an entire neighborhood, the cops won't do anything until people get off their ass and do something about it. They're just going to run roughshod over people. You can't even report on them. You can't film them.
That was wrong, that they kept me from getting what I deserved, which is so crazy to me. But I'm grateful for them. There were at least 6 or 7 of them, and they know who they are.
Yep. So this is the person, this is the account of the person who did it anyway. They haven't posted it since 2024. I don't know if we can see the, there's the mushy mush person. I mean, just like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. You should not be able to just assault people for filming in public. This is the problem is these people have economic backing. They have people that send them money for this shit. I mean, the cops aren't going to help you, so people need to start helping themselves. And this guy right here, this guy is a complete piece of shit. Yeah. He's attacked multiple people just for no reason. He's been in jail for attacking people. He needs to just go. He has no value to a polite society. A lot of these people don't. I mean, just sorry to say, a lot of these folks do not. They don't do anything of value. So I'm on a roll tonight. Yeah, no, that's what they want. They want to provoke people, and people are only going to take it for so long, unfortunately. Here, this is the attack.
Save it for another time. Save it for Charlie! That's what happens when you fucking make people for no reason. That's what happens when you make... Everybody back the fuck up. This is my friend. Let me come. I'm a medic. Please let me just do what I need to do, okay?
I'm a medic. I'm a medic. I'm a medic.
You okay? See, when you assault people, you get assaulted back.
Charlie, are you okay? Guys, please leave.
You're wearing gas masks. You're just basically there for. It's so frustrating. I get it. There's a lot that is there's a lot to be pissed about. Don't get me wrong, but you got to point it in the right place, and attacking each other or just yeah. It's very, very frustrating. Yeah, no, they do. They're waiting. They're wanting to provoke stuff. And, you got people on both, I say both sides that, that try and push this narrative where, there are issues to be pissed about. The thing I just talked about with corporations shifting all of our jobs overseas. And then one of the other stories we're gonna get to here in a few. Those are the things to be angry about. But just this, and a lot of this isn't even this ICE stuff. It's all the same groups. It's the same groups that have done all of the different protests throughout the last 15, 20 years. And it's basically anti-capitalist, socialist or communist or whatever you want to call it, that's the folks who are behind this. That's who puts the money behind this stuff. That's why you have these signs, a lot of these protests that are supposed to be, grassroots. You have all of a sudden you've got all these signs, and even the ones that's funny thing is they'll make these signs look handmade, and then you look at them and there's like copyright on them or provided by this function or that function. And the problem is the federal government is funding a lot of this stuff through different NGOs and everything. So it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. But yeah, I that wasn't even on my list. It was the Big Balls guy getting attacked that made me think of that. So yeah, Mr. Big Balls got in the way of somebody trying to carjack somebody. So good on him. All right. What else do we have? We've got couple interesting things. So I don't want to go through this whole thing because it's like a half an hour long. But Alan Jackson was on the Greg Hill show, which is a local oh, catch that. I think Trump will eventually get to take care of this BS. I'm really surprised he hasn't come down hard on me yet. Probably is being advised to let it go until after the mid. Yeah, I mean, it's the issue of coming down hard on things, especially from the government side of it, is they have to protect themselves. That's one thing, is they really need to protect themselves. And we've seen a lot of the video where you see giant rocks being thrown at cars and like windows getting crashed out of cars and people getting hurt. And then another one today where there was let me go see if I can find this one. This is the stuff that just is insane to me. There was a okay, so Portland again. Portland. Share this tab instead. So, violent extremist Portland Antifa, however you pronounce it. I always call it Antifa. I don't know why. Rose City Counter Info, which regularly posts claims of responsibility for terrorist attacks and urges violence, has posted information about an alleged lesbian ICE Gov agent who lives in Portland. Posts provide links to a home address, provides description of the property and vehicles. The suggestion is that one of their comrades should go attack the family and or their property. So these people are putting out and listing where these agents live. She lives there with her partner, where they just proudly display a trans pride flag. There is no pride in being a Fed. In front of the red house, they have a van underneath a custom-built rain cover. It has a ridiculous windshield. So, yeah, these people are openly posting the addresses of other of ICE agents, saying, "Yeah, go to their house." I mean, yeah, no, yeah, it's not. I mean, that's such a daunting thing, though. It's what a lot of people push, but there's no upside to it, unfortunately. But there's also no upside to letting people just violently assault other people for no reason, or violently assault. I mean, I'm not a like all of the, we've seen these cities, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, push this defund the police stuff, and where they've cut the police budgets quite a lot. And you see the outcome of that is now one thing is they say, well, crime's down because of this. Well, when you don't have officers to go out and file reports, of course your crime is down because you're not capturing all the crime. Or when you say shoplifting is no longer a thing. This one guy it was Philadelphia, New York, somewhere the other day, had his entire convenience store ransacked. And when he called the police, they're just like, we can't do anything. Shoplifting's not a crime that we come out to. So 15 to 20 people ransacked his store. And the cops wouldn't come because they don't do that anymore. And I was hoping to find it, but you can never. Let's see. Maybe it wasn't Philadelphia. It was Philadelphia, New York, somewhere like just an entire group was in. I think 20 or 30 people come ransacking into this small store and just stole everything out of it. And it's like the cops are like, we can't do anything. So people are gonna. I mean, you're only gonna put up with this for so long, and then like. There was a report the other day of this grocery store closing down. I think it was in Minnesota. I think it was Minneapolis. And they're getting stolen blind. So they're finally like, we can't support this. We can't keep up with the amount of crime, with the amount of stealing. So we're shutting down the grocery store. And they're like, well, you're making a food desert. It's like, but they can't operate. We got to work, and we can't do that. We can't work from prison. You are correct, and that's what's going to happen. So so they post this whole thing. They post this person's damn home address and what their car looks like, and they're basically saying, "Yeah, you should just go over there." Well, no, you shouldn't, because people need to protect themselves. It's just getting out of hand. And I mean, so Alan Jackson, Karen Reed's attorney in the first trial, the second trial, is going to be her attorney in
us this morning on this show. For the first time, one of her attorneys, Alan Jackson. Alan, good morning.
Listen to a little bit of this here.
Hey, Greg, how are you this morning?
Great to have you on. I know it's early out there in California. I appreciate you taking the time.
Speed this up a little bit.
I mean, I've been trying to get you on since the trial, but I mean, I know you had other things you had to do.
Well, I need a little courting. You didn't court me, Greg. Come on.
Well, I tried. You took to Instagram over the weekend to say
okay, I'll be right back.
Yet, and
I will be right back.
Chapter is coming. I know there are a lot of us who want to know what that means, Alan.
Well, I was just sort of generally referring to something I'm very excited about, which is I've agreed to join Karen and her very capable defense team in the civil action. So I'll be coming back to Boston. You haven't seen the last of me yet. And the really good news is I'm going to be bringing Elizabeth Little with me as well. So the band is not just staying together, getting back together, but we're intending on writing a few new chapters.
That legal team, you're the legal team that you have joined, has sent subpoenas to the Mass State Police and the Norfolk DA's office, seeking information on witnesses who testified at the trial, on Michael Proctor, and on evidence from the federal investigation. We discussed the federal investigation a lot on this show. From your perspective, in your opinion, did that federal investigation end?
No, I've never heard of such a thing. I know what Mr. Brennan said. I know what the hired gun said in court about being contacted and there being a closure to the case. We weren't contacted. I was never contacted. I've never heard a word of that directly from the horse's mouth, and I've been doing this for a long time. And I can tell you it's not a thing. It's just not Greg, you just don't do that. As a prosecutor, especially a federal prosecutor, you don't look at the target, call the target, and say, oh, yeah, we're done. We're done here. What if something new comes up tomorrow or next week or next month and you're within the statute? You don't, quote, unquote, close investigations. So that's something that I'd never heard of, and no, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a quote unquote closed investigation. They can say whatever they want over at the Norfolk DA's office. I'm sure that was a curated comment or a series of comments, but I'll leave it to the feds to do what the feds do best, and that is to investigate, and that's exactly what I think is continuing to happen. But that's just my opinion.
Speaking of the DA's office, should the taxpayers in this state be concerned with how much was spent on both of these trials?
Oh God, yes, yeah. This is that. I mean, the DA's office serves at the pleasure of the public. He's an elected official. He's got responsibility to the public for their confidence and to their pocketbooks. I have no idea how much they spent. I know how much we spent, and I can imagine they spent as much or more. I mean, there were millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money spent that was completely unnecessary because of a persecution, not a prosecution, because of some sort of a personal vendetta. After the first trial, everybody knew what had happened inside that jury room, inside that deliberation room. She was acquitted. I've talked about this. The fact
Alan,
that Karen and I and our team maybe the only.
So this interview, he just does not hold back. He sits. She has now been found not guilty. He just both barrels here to the Norfolk DA's office for all of them.
Attorney-client relationship where we've actually acquitted someone of murder twice in the same case with the same charges. They knew that they couldn't prove this case coming out of the first trial. They knew they couldn't prove the case going into the first trial, and that they pressed forward. And then, of course, following the debacle of the first trial and the judge.
So let's see. Go forward a little bit.
You have perfectly capable ADAs who could have.
So now this is part where they're talking about why they hired Brennan.
Tried this case, and it wouldn't cost you $600,000, correct? That's normally the way it goes.
Course. Right? Yeah, that's normally the way it goes. And if Michael Morrissey didn't have those kinds of prosecutors who could try the case capably, then maybe he needs to find another job. That's his only job, is to populate the courtrooms with people who are competent, not just competent, but ethical. I don't know, maybe there were some ethical prosecutors inside that office who said, well, I can't. They probably could have prosecuted the case. It's just a matter of calling witnesses and doing an opening and closing statement, putting on some evidence. I think they had prosecutors who said they wouldn't because it's unethical. They didn't believe in it. So what does he do? He goes outside the parameters of the contours of his office and finds some defense attorney to come on board and switch midstream and become a prosecutor. It's outrageous. You don't see this.
So yeah, what is your worry on that? I'm curious what you think. Was it the comments about the judge, or what do you think? I'm curious. I'm curious.
Alan, I was so impressed with how you and your team were able to handle the first trial and the second trial, but it did feel so drastically different, the way in which you decided to handle witnesses. And the first trial seemed like there was just bombshell after bombshell. It was much more McAlbert's heavy, while the second trial was much more database. What went into the decision to kind of switch things up and choose to go down that road at the second time around?
There wasn't a marked difference in what our theme and theory of the case was. As a matter of fact, there was no difference in what our theme and theory of the case was, which is the SUV never hit John. He wasn't killed by being hit by a car.
Yeah. I that was a very good question and a very good comment about the first case versus the second case, because we did have like that's what everybody's intrigue on the first case was the solo cups and the blood and the lack of blood on the snow and the leaf blower and the texts and just so much that came out in the first trial that you're just like, this is crazy. Well, the second trial was much more and to the states, to the commonwealths. They did a lot of that to themselves in the first trial. Like they had a lot of that come out in the first trial because of their witnesses. And so they limited that in the second trial, but there's still no way to prove that the dude got hit by a car. It's just, that's the toughest thing to prove, is that he got hit by a car. So, okay. So, Oh yeah, no, yeah, no. I agree. They show us every day how far that they're willing to go. How far are they willing to go? Yeah, no, I think so. You've got people on both sides that are just that I'm just. Do we really need to get to that limit? Because it's not going to be a good thing for anybody. But it's also, like I said, you have to protect yourself, and you can't let people just run over top of you. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's a hard thing.
The basic postulate. In the second trial, it was very clear that the prosecution was going to do something different. They were going to try to style themselves as a data-driven prosecution. We knew that the data helped us. So any trial lawyer has to do this. You have to be committed to your cause, but you also have to be able to be up on the balls of your feet. You have to be able to be nimble and pivot with the prosecution, because you're not just parrying. You're just
Yeah. So all right, let me go forward here a little bit, because like I said, I don't want to go through this whole thing.
Investigating the very people he should have been investigating.
So I think this is about Proctor.
Well, then act like other troopers. Don't do what you did, which is to take.
No.
Deserve to be a trooper in Massachusetts? Suggestion is that he was not treated like other troopers. Does he deserve to be a trooper in Massachusetts?
Oh my God!
So this is about Proctor.
Please tell me they're not going to give him his job back. He's claiming he wasn't treated like other troopers. Well, then act like other troopers. Don't do what you did, which is to take your trooper's hat off and to become sort of a sideshow. This guy had so many biases going into the case. I mean, it was embarrassing. I don't need to go into, and I won't go into all the details of what he did, not just to the investigation, but to Karen Reed personally, just dehumanizing her, maintaining relationships with the people that he should have been investigating, the very people he should have been investigating. No. Look, to be a sworn officer and to take on the mantle of the protection of the community, that is a privilege, Greg and Courtney. That's a privilege. That is not a right. And he squandered that privilege with bias and a lack of objectivity and lying through his teeth about his own relationships, about dehumanizing with conduct that was dehumanizing.
Yeah, I don't know that it's half the country, because I think a lot of everything is so amplified now, and especially all the bad stuff. And so we see this stuff in Portland or whatever, or we even see these large protests in like big cities where they say, oh, okay, 100,000 people came out, or 10,000 people. I don't know that 100,000 people through a bunch of things. So 10,000 people came out, and it created this big scene, but that's like a very small percentage of the actual population. Most of the population is oblivious to a lot of this. Unfortunately, they're not paying attention. So it's you you said a no word on YouTube. Oh no. But you've got the people that want to cause all the issues, but then you've got a large part of the population that's just oblivious to all of it. And they're either oblivious to all of it, or they're susceptible to the propaganda, and they don't really have the ability to think for themselves and really look at what's happening. And so, but there's a lot more people paying attention. And so, and I think that new media, like even what I'm doing here, it's all still so new. And so as traditional media like CNN, MSNBC, those places, as they continue to lose more and more of the eyeballs, especially of the younger generation, we're going to see a shift. We're going to see more and more people paying attention and getting their news from actual, people that are not just narrative drivers. Excuse me, I had to take some prescription drugs because, don't you get me that started on that. But and we're going to see more and more people paying attention, and you've got more and more people that are starting Substacks and have shows and have stuff online. And that was the word you said. Yes. No, and the scary part though is, yeah, but I know. I had a heart issue a few years ago, and so I'm taking the advice of the old doc. He's a good doctor. So he says that this is okay. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. It happens when you get old, but hopefully more and more people will. Yeah, Telegram, Substack, YouTube, Rumble. Rumble is a good thought. And we're on Rumble right now. I wish I watched more Rumble, but their app drives me crazy. It just will stop working all the time, and it's like it's just But YouTube seems to be coming down a little bit as far as what they're censoring, so they're getting a little bit better as far as allowing more and more things to be on YouTube, and a lot more of different opinions. And you're seeing stuff like okay, so I'm going to move on from Alan Jackson's coming back. We might, if the civil trial in the Karen Reed case is going to be televised, we might have some fireworks there. So but Alan Jackson will be part of it. Okay, so this is just breaking tonight here too. Is talk about old media versus new media. Yeah. Oh God. The Rumble app drives me crazy. I am a small, but any bit of significant, I actually bought into some Rumble stock. It's one of the stocks that I have. And I really wish they would fix their app. I would watch them more if they fixed their app. If I'm listening, I listen to stuff in my ear all day long, right? I listen to it all day long. What, man? What? Uh-oh. No, you got to tell me about it. Send me a PM if you would. I listen to stuff all day long. I have an earbud in my ear right here, either the white one or the black one. I have it in my ear all day long, and I'm listening to stuff all day long. I have it on all day long. Rumble drives me crazy. You try and shut it off, and it stops going, and then you have to go into your phone and you have to hit play, and then you're going along, and then it just stops again. So you got to go mess with your phone unit. YouTube works. It works the entire time. With or without the phone on. And so I wish the Rumble app had the functionality of the YouTube app, because it's a pain in the butt to actually. Yeah, no, it's bad. It's just, yeah. I mean, the browser site, it seems to work really good. I do watch it on the computer. But man, it's just but I wanted to succeed because they are, I want them to get more into gaming. I want them to get more into all of that. So yeah, no, exactly. And exactly. That's what my whole show is about, is this whole thing. That's why I did, the episodes of the show. That the whole reason I started this channel was to make fun of the damn government. But we see, so this came out today. Howard Stern, last year, he said, I don't want people who think differently than me to watch my show. He makes like $100 million a year or something stupid like that. And Sirius XM has, and now they say canceled. His contract was up for negotiation, but he basically, they didn't want to renew his contract. So Howard Stern, I mean, you could remember Howard Stern was the king of all media, right? And I mean, he was huge back in the day. I mean, that's why he went to, he was on terrestrial radio forever. And then he went to Sirius and he made, now the guy's, it's not like he's going to go broke, right? Like, yes, they canceled his contract, but he's made over $1 billion. So he's 71. The guy can just retire. But I don't know. Are the people like that maybe don't want to retire, or yep. Oh, okay. I will try that. I will try that. That is actually good advice. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. So we've got a manhunt. Holy moly. Wow. Look at it. All right. What did this guy do? Let's see.
We know that this guy knows the country. He knows the terrain. He spent time out there. We know he's backpacked and spent time in the area. We do believe he's in that area. We've got some pretty good intel that he is still in that area. This is a mountain town. There's a lot of timber. There's a lot of really, really thick undergrowth growing up the side of these mountains that makes searching really, really difficult.
Oh my goodness. So so it's still going on. 55. Okay. Wow. Manhunt for Michael Paul Brown. The suspect shot and killed 4 people at the Alba. Oh, I did hear about this. So yeah, August 1st. Police entered the 5th day of the manhunt as of August 5th, 2025, with 38 local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, ATF, Montana National Guard. The Montana National Guard has flown nearly 20 hours of flight since August 1st using helicopters to search. Ground search teams have been deployed. Wow. So if he knows, I mean, that's one of those things. If he knows the mountains, then it's going, gosh. U.S. Marshals have offered $10,000 reward. Michael Paul Brown, 45, is a veteran who served in the U.S. Army from 2001 to 2005 as a tank crewman. Was deployed to Iraq from February 2004 to March 2005. He served in the National Guard from 2006 to 2009, leaving as the rank of sergeant. Brown reported lived next door to the Owl Bar, was acquainted with most of the victims, including, oh man. Yeah, I guess they did say he had a history of like some mental illness, and there was a lot of people that tried to help him. And so you wonder what actually kick this off. I mean, that's just, ugh.
We know that this guy
Leach and 74-year-old Wayne Paul. Order.
I guess this is a.
For those of you that have homes or have property in the Stumptown area, we hear your
Time ago, his daughter talked to, or excuse me, his niece talked to the Associated Press, saying he had all sorts of mental health issues and said, quote, he's a sick man who doesn't know who or where he is sometimes.
But, gosh, that's just horrible. No, probably not. Probably going, yeah, I would say that's probably likely. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Nope, those are all good points. Yeah, nope, because a lot of times I've got like 8 or 10 or 20 apps going on my phone for, just sitting there flicking through the apps. Oh gosh. And yeah, because you don't realize it, and the next thing you know, you've got 40 apps open on your phone, and then yeah, you use up, because every one of those apps uses a little bit of RAM. So anyway, nope, those are all good. I will try that next time, because like I said, a lot of people want Rumble to be successful. We really do. Yeah, no, it's yeah, exactly. You've got, LA, Portland, Seattle, every night you see people. Like I watched, it was there's a bunch of streamers that stream out in LA. And I watched this person the other night scream at ICE agents, begging them to come out and like be violent to her because she wanted to sue them. And so she's on a megaphone and she's saying, please come out and, assault me. Please come out and because I want to take you out of court. I want to, and it's just like, why? Why are you just why? I don't get it. But, I guess I'm Yep. No, exactly. No, phone. Yeah. When I'm at, like, I have my, I've got a bunch of computers. So but like listening to stuff during the day, I do rely on my phone. So, but I've got way too many computers. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. So, all right. So Justine Bateman, let's switch gears here, because these are funny. So this is more. I love Justine Bateman. If you haven't seen Justine Bateman's X account, go check it out because it's hilarious. So what she does is she'll take these videos that these people are making, and especially the Sydney. Now she's been on the Sydney Sweeney thing because they're still putting out videos on this. CNN is having experts on to talk about how it's, how people are going to look back in history as, this campaign for genes is white supremacy and they should be apologizing and all that. So again, we're in this situation where, regular people everybody's got a voice now. And I think I've got one to kind of show you just how stuff goes viral, and I think we'll talk about that on Friday too. So let's take a look at this person first. Let's see what they said first, and then we'll look at Justine Bateman's review of this piece of art, because what she does is she reviews it like it's a piece of art. She reviews it like it's a movie or a trailer or something like that. So let's take a look at the actual piece first.
I can't believe this is where we are at as a society, but I guess it is, since this has to be said. People are not mad at American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney because she is white. People are not mad at the American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney ad because she is hot by male definition. People are mad because American Eagle employees came up with lines and Sydney Sweeney decided that it was okay to say these lines that openly support eugenics. Yes, it's not just about the imagery. It is the imagery that is combined with words. Words that have meaning to them, and words that openly can be found throughout history that are problematic. But that's why you absolutely should always be learning history. Because if you decide to ignore history, it will just repeat itself. It's almost like failing a test with an open book. The answers are right there on how things like words in the Sydney Sweeney ad can be impactful in everyday life. And when I say impactful, not in a good way.
So there's a line in my show. It's in episode 3. And episode 3 is a very... I'm just going to play it here. Let me go to my show. Let me go to my show. Give me 1 second to find it. Like, you know, I see you sent me a link. I'm going to look at it. All right, all right, let me share this. So this is episode 3, and let me pull up a transcript. And this is exactly what this person just said. This is a this is a mockery, basically. So this is my show is a fictional tale of what would happen if the government opened an actual agency to combat misinformation. The Bureau Undermining Misinformation. This is one of the main characters, one of the main agents. And this is in the first day that because he gets shipped to Alaska, and this is the first day, and he's talking to his new partner. And so he, in this part, he says, what? Oh, it is, absolutely. Mark's got some amazing hair. He has got some amazing hair. So he's talking about the agency, and his partner's asking, well, what do you think of this agency? And he goes,
there's some growing pains, some politics involved, some sort of feud with Fed.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in the mission.
The mission?
Yeah.
Of suppressing free speech. Do you really think that you and I, we should be the arbiters on what people can read, what they can hear?
Yes. In a word, yes.
Huh.
Words are dangerous. Words can be violence.
Right there. When I wrote those lines, I'm like, it's supposed to be a parody, but it's not. It's actually what some people think. Like,
in everyday life, things like words in the Sydney Sweeney ad can be impactful in everyday life.
It's
and when
not
I say
a
impactful,
it's
not in a
not
good way.
a joke. It's not a
You decide
joke.
to ignore history, it will just repeat itself. It's almost like failing a test with an open book. The answers are right there on how things like words in the Sydney Sweeney ad can.
It's what these people think. So yeah, when I wrote that, I was thinking, this is a parody, but and then
I believe in the mission.
I believe in the mission.
The mission.
Yeah.
Of suppressing free speech. Do you really think that you and I, we should be the arbiters on what people can read, what they can hear?
Yes. In a word, yes.
And this actually happened. That's the problem. That's one of the other inspirations I got was from the damn Twitter files and the fact that our government was doing this. Like they didn't have an agency declared for it, but they were doing this. They were making the decisions on what people could see and hear. So okay, so let's go back to this thing and this person. So we watched the ad. So now what's Justine Bateman's take on this? So we just saw this person.
Political employees came up with lines and Sydney.
So this was all about the Sydney Sweeney ad. So Justine Bateman, social media video critic, a quirky piece about a sock at the bottom of a laundry bag. The production design has cotton fabric hung behind the actress representing the bag. So there we go. There's the cotton fabric. There's the sock bag. The sock has decided it's an academic after reading some fragmented notes that fell out of a pair of jeans in the bag. The sock's dialogue goes from insisting people are not mad to an elementary explanation of how films are structured. It's not just about the imagery, it is the imagery that is combined with words that have meaning to them, words that can be openly found throughout history. That is why you should always be learning history, and the answers are right there. Implies the note she found was a study sheet for a test, perhaps in cinema class history test. How words can be impactful in everyday life, combined with the rest of the quotes from the found notes, suggests the simplicity of the sock's attempt to understand what it read. Overall, the director piques the audience's interest with this piece. We want to know about the rest of the clothing items in the bag, their relationships with each other, and the other items found in various pockets. Finn. I love these things. I absolutely love her. I love her takes on these things. It's just, oh my gosh. And then there was another one. Let me pull up this other one here because let's see. Where did you go, Justine? I mean, and all these people they're so insane. It's just insane that people get out there and just, why do they always got to be in cars? That's the one thing. And then half the time they're in cars and they're eating. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. And this person's not in a car. They're in their house. And let's go. All right, here we go. Here's the next minute-long thing.
If I was Sydney Sweeney and somebody told me, girl, give us more vocal fry, I would literally give you my middle finger. Like, Sydney, you...
Why record yourself eating? Why? Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's a one of a kind. Let me tell you, this is, and we've got a bunch of Aussies. This one is like no other dog I've ever met. He loves everybody, everything, every animal. He does not have a mean bone in his body. It's funny.
You're a grown woman.
Right.
Like, you can say no. No is a complete sentence. Genes are what gets passed down. I feel like you have mucus in your nose. I feel like you need to blow your nose. I also feel like you need a speech therapist. I'm serious. Fully form your words and sentences. Affecting things like eye color. It's not an impediment, but like you're not crisping your letters. You are also 100% capable of existing as a woman without showing your...
Like she's talking with food in her mouth and she's complaining about how somebody else enunciates their words.
Cleavage. Like, you will actually survive. I don't know if you know that. I do.
She's got food in her mouth while she's talking.
Girl, you gotta fire your manager. She keeps
Oh my God.
making poor choices. You don't need to sell anything bathwater related. You are, in fact, an actress. You can, in fact, go with that. To be honest, I think the only thing you could do to save your career at this point is do Broadway.
So this person thinks that Sydney Sweeney's not going to have a career after this. Like, the ad campaign has been a success. It's been a giant success. It's been a huge success.
Broadway is where actors go when they need to, like, reset their image. You could even do off Broadway, but do something live. Do something that
This person is eating off a paper plate, trying to give criticism to a famous actress. I love the internet.
showcases your
The internet
talents
is
and not
freaking
your
awesome.
chest.
All right, so let's take a look at Justine's critique of this thing. This is an interesting, if not disturbing, therapy session video scene wherein a patient themselves plays the person who harmed them the most. In this case, the actress plays a damaged young woman, DYW, who was brutally criticized by her mother years ago. She takes on the role of her abuser, her mother, in the therapy session. The director adds the mother's past force-feeding punishment of the girl into the mix, adding a rich yet troubling layer. Oh my God. The damaged young woman character angrily eats a large piece of pancake stack smothered with butter, syrup, and whipped cream, just like her mother once forced her to do. In this scene, while she plays her mother, the damaged young woman herself is in a way inflicting the force feeding on her mother. During the eating, the damaged young woman delivers all the cutting things her mother ever said to her. The criticism of her own vocal fry, the mimicking of what the girls sound like. You're a grown woman. You can say no. I feel like you have mucus in your nose. You need a speech therapist. Fully form your words and sentences. You will survive without showing your cleavage. I don't know if you know that. I do. The dialogue further reveals the mother's insistence that the girl do Broadway, do something that showcases your talents and not your chest. The mother's past negative focus on DYW's breast has resulted in the binding of her own breasts. Wardrobe here has wrapped the actress's chest numerous times with white bandages. They then added childlike flower appliques, indicating this has been a practice of the character since she was a young girl. We hunger for the follow-up piece showing the damaged young woman breaking down, racked with sobs at playing her mom and saying out loud all the damaging things said to her. The therapist would no doubt comfort her, and we would see the damaged young woman start her recovery. As one of goals of any film or series episode, it has caused the audience to hunger for more. This piece accomplishes its goal. Oh, these things are great. She doesn't hold back, and yeah, Justine Bateman is freaking amazing. She is so funny. And, you know, she got sick of it all. I mean, that's what, like, this was her pinned post from November 8th, 2004. She's just like decompressing from walking on eggshells for the past 4 years. I found the last 4 years to be an almost intolerable period, a very un-American period, in that any questioning or opinions, any likes or dislikes were held up to a very limited set of permitted positions in order to assess acceptability. I mean, she nails it. I would, go look at her page, read this whole thing, because it's great. And then she doesn't endorse any politician. I mean, like, we get so focused on what these damn politicians are doing, and, none of them and neither party seems like they're freaking out to help us. So it's very, very thing. So yeah, so she gets into these things though, and Spencer Pratt, that's another guy. So okay, one more. Let's see what this one is. This one's a quick one, 32 seconds. So all right, what's this one?
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan, genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer, literally.
Who the fuck's coming out with one next? They're getting bold. They were already bold, but they're getting fucking bold right now. Holy shit.
Look.
This is an example of how over-rehearsing can damage your project. The actress plays a young woman very taken with the king of summer. She demonstrates her attraction to him by wiping her brow, nervous sweat, covering her mouth, holding herself back, holding her hand out to halt him from advancing. She expresses a gleeful frustration at the volume of good-looking guys on videos. I love this. Oh my God. She acknowledges their alluring confidence. They're getting bold. She again wipes her brow and exclaims, "Holy shit," at witnessing the massive male hotness around her. The color bead eyeglass chain is too pronounced in the scene. It may have been an actor choice and not that of the director. As uncomfortable as it might be, it's paramount that the director hold firm on the aesthetics of the project. Regardless of what the actors want to erroneously employ for their character, this can be done in a judicious manner. The actress is over-rehearsed, but the same can be said for the camera moves. The repeated zooms and the focus on the forehead at the end are both self-conscious and as far as style. With a piece this short and intimate, it's better to keep the camera work simple. I freaking love these. Oh, I saw that Reed Timmer. Yeah, his puppy dog. That was sad. So yeah, I get a kick out of these damn things. Justine just freaking rocks it. Oh yeah, Film Threat is awesome too. Just kind of going through. I don't know why I'm. Anyway, so yeah, so check out Justine Bateman. She's got some really good stuff going on, and then like. This one's not a Justine Bateman thing, but here's another one. I mean, I thought the Sydney Sweeney thing would die down like in a couple of days, but they're still going.
Ad is just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge overt racism and how harmful it can be. White Americans have so much trouble with saying, oh my God, yeah, this thing could be perceived as racist or could be harmful to minorities because of the rhetoric that it is pushing, the overt rhetoric. Like they just refuse to acknowledge that.
I have no idea what that even was. What she even just said right now. Okay, a couple more crazy people because these people are so fun. You just gotta like.
Hi, MAGA.
This doesn't even.
My MAGA friends. I'm just kidding. I'm not friends with MAGA people. No, thank you.
Another person sitting in their car decided, you know what? I need to get this off my chest. I'm going to put this video out there, and then I'm going to show you that I am so much better than everybody else.
I do have a very serious question for you. I had a pretty long ride from where I just was, and my brain just, I don't even have the radio on most of the time. I'm just in there thinking.
This person is crazy.
And I was just wondering, why you guys hate everything. Why do you hate America? Why are you cool with just sitting and watching the Democratic Republic burn to the fucking ground? And you're like, you're not even watching, you're cheering it on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We love to suffer, yeah, because you're gonna also suffer under this
Do you think this person is actually suffering?
authoritarian, fascist fever dream. Because you just pretend that
They say these words that they've heard, but they don't actually know what they mean.
Jews are patriots and you love the Constitution and you love America, but everything you do and say just kind of says the opposite. It says that, like, it doesn't, the math doesn't math, you know what I mean? So I was like, why do they hate America so much? How'd that happen?
So anyway, I just, yeah. This one, I didn't listen to this whole thing. This is a history teacher that has decided that, well,
I will
let's
die
just
on this hill.
listen.
I'm specifically talking about the Inga here. We're not talking about the Mexica. That's a whole separate type of sacrifice. If we're just
We're talking about the history of the Incans or Incas from South America.
Tawantinsuyu, the Quechua people of the Incan Empire. They practiced sacrifices like most other civilizations throughout history did in times of crisis. So famine, natural disasters. But the unique thing about the Quechua is that when you're looking at like the Incan civilization, you essentially have the elites and then you have everyone else. Sacrifices were volunteers from the elite class because they believed that the elites were closer to the gods and could therefore appease them better. Also, in terms of sacrifice, they were kind about it. Hear me out.
In terms of sacrifice, the Incans were kind about their sacrifices.
Because unlike the Mexica, when you're like ripping out a still beating heart out of someone's chest, the Inca would intentionally use coca leaves and would use chicha and would drug up the sacrifice and then leave them on a mountain, a cold, chilly mountain, to be exposed to the elements. Which,
that's so nice of them. They were so nice about their human sacrifices.
if you're good, a volunteer sacrifice where you're heavily drugged before you die.
Sign her up? Is that what she's saying? I mean, she's good with that.
Also, I mean, I can equate human sacrifice throughout history to so many things. And I think the fact that a lot of people are commenting, oh, but the sacrifice is again indicative of the fact that you have received a quite white education because you are knowing them for the bad
There it is. There it is, folks.
things that they have done and not all of
There
the
it
wonders
is.
that they accomplished. So I hope that this maybe helps you understand a different part of my most favorite civilization of all time, the Inca.
This is a history teacher teaching kids. This is someone who is teaching children. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. All right. Another. I really want Justine to do that. She's got to do a critique on that one. All right. This person is upset because they live in the same neighborhood as a police officer.
I've had this thought swirling around in my head for probably months at this point, but I've just now been able to really put words to it, and I want to tell you about it. I think one of the strangest things about living in America as a police state, and also one of the easiest things.
People have no idea what a police state actually is. Yeah, I know. It's froggy thing.
That we could just get rid of and would fix.
Like, I mean, the mustache doesn't go all the way around. Is it drawn on, or is this? I don't know.
A lot of problems would be to just not let officers take their police vehicles home with them. Like, I know that there is a police officer that lives in my neighborhood. You know how I know? Because they have their police vehicle in their front driveway all of the time. Stop giving cops the ability to use intimidation in their own home when they're supposed to be considered a civilian at that point. I've had
all right, one more, because these are just too much. I mean, it's all over the place. It's
We should have
crazy.
known Sydney Sweeney was a Republican because she's tacky as fuck. Like Dr. Squatch, American Eagle, Baskin Robbins, tacky brands to partner with. And then her partnering with like any and every brand that will have her, that's tacky, that's desperate. And when you see Sydney Sweeney at like red carpet events, premiere events, press junkets, she doesn't look like an A-list celebrity. She looks like a stoned prom queen.
Oh, that's Finnegan. He's got multiple names, but Finn is basically his name. A lot of our dogs are named after Star Wars, so he's named after Finn from the last trilogy.
I mean, look at this Echo Valley dress, right? It's classic Hollywood glamour. And then Sydney Sweeney is in it with her tan line showing and a frizzy beach wave. And now partnering with American Eagle makes so much more sense because her whole vibe is hottest girl at the mall in a conservative town. She is Cassie.
What is this person's vibe then?
From Euphoria. She is not escaping that in her branding. Like, this is actually really interesting because it's like she's not being typecast in her filmography. She has all of these opportunities, all of these roles. But she's like typecasting herself in her brand deals, in her public persona.
Oh yeah. No,
I mean, I would feel bad for her, but she's a Republican, so who gives a fuck? We should have known.
Yep, these people are nuts. They just decide to get online, and so yeah, this and a lot. So this last one, I didn't listen to this when I saw it, and I'm like, I'm gonna save this one just so. Most of these people are probably on some type of mental illness medication because that is what, that's just what these people are on nowadays. So this one even talks about that. Let's see.
I've come to realize my mental illness is America. America is my mental illness, my depression, my anxiety, my hopelessness, my want and desire to just give up and say, fuck it all, my anxieties, America. Because the minute I want to start living life and be excited to live life and get out of here and get a new job and want to do all these things, wait, where do I live? America. The job market's down, unemployment rates are up, everything's just spiraling along with this. I want to get out of here. I want to start actually living my life and be excited to live life, but I can't do that here in America. It's all just, it feels like I waited too long now at this point to try and make life better, to try and get excited to live life, to try and get re-inspired, to try and like actually chase the things I want to do. It feels like the clock has run out on that because every day America is becoming more and more of a black hole, and so is my mind.
This is a Yep. This is a feedback loop. This person is stuck in this feedback loop of doom and gloom, and she's told over and over again how horrible everything is. Yeah, she's sitting in a car. She owns a vehicle, right? Or at least she has access to a vehicle. but yet her life is horrible. Like unfortunately we're stuck in this. And then I mean a lot of women, a lot of younger white women are just stuck in this loop. They are stuck in this whole everything is horrible, men are horrible, the all the thing we haven't even talked about, the T app. And we're gonna talk about that on Friday. All right, I know I said one more, but I'm gonna do one more because I didn't listen to this one earlier either. But this whole thing on this T app, there was an app out there called the T app, and it was an app for women to basically you had to be verified that you were a woman. You had to send in ID, and they have pictures of your ID, and you had to confirm that you were a woman. And then they basically had this app that was for only women, and the women could talk shit about the guys that they've dated. They could, say, don't date this person, do date this person. They could talk about, size of their junk. They could talk about whatever they wanted to. There was zero security on this app. Zero. Like, people just went in and downloaded all of the pictures, all of the IDs that people posted, all of the private messages, all of the messages that they sent out, all of it. All of it was just downloaded and put out on the web. And so this app that was supposedly a private app has blown up. And somebody even went in and took these IDs that people posted and it just just doxed everybody on there, put out all the messages, put out all of the stuff. It's insane. So, and people trust these websites, but they just have no idea what you're getting into. And, it's obvious that a lot of our information's out there. Everybody's been subject to some kind of leak or something at one point, but just all of that in one place. And then to have these IDs that are out there, oh my gosh. So we're going to get into it later on this week because I want to do some more research on it. I'd like to get Michael and Jody's opinion on it, but okay. So one more.
If I ever see a MAGA person in a Mexican restaurant, I will literally start a revolution right there. Because you cannot tell me that you voted for people who, whether they are citizens or not, to get deported out of this country to Mexico, and also voted for tariffs against Mexico, where we get a large majority of our produce, especially avocados, to just... You can't enjoy Mexican restaurants if you voted that way. You cannot go with your little girly pops and get chips and queso and margaritas and be like, this and girl time. Like, no. You don't get to do that. You lost that right to do that. You do not get to enjoy Mexican food, Mexican culture, anything related to Mexico if you voted for Donald Trump. If you voted for Donald Trump, you do not get to enjoy an all-inclusive resort in Tulum or, I don't know, fucking Cancun or anywhere else in Mexico. You do not get to do that. You should not be allowed to do that. I think Mexico...
These people are insane.
...should be able to pull and see, how did you vote? And if you voted for Donald Trump, you are not allowed in their country because you do not get to benefit off of Mexican culture and Mexican experiences, including Mexican travel and vacations, when you voted for Donald Trump. You don't. You can't vote against people and a culture that you want to take advantage of because you're a rich white person. Mm-mm-mm. No, it's not how it works. I swear.
I have no words. I have no words for that at all. I don't. All right, one last thing. I'm not going to hit you with another one. I'm not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I got to do it. Okay. The very last one. This is it. This is the last one. And then we're going to go on to this other thing because I think it's really cool. This other thing is actually very interesting. This person coming up just this is fantasy. What you're about to see is complete fantasy. She does not do this to people in public. Getting online and saying these things, this is a fantasy. This is not how people actually navigate through the world. They just don't. So, okay.
Thing to do right now. My favorite thing to do right now is to be super fucking rude to Nazis. I mean, Trumpers, same thing. It is so fucking fun and so easy. They are such an easy fucking mark. They all are mouth breathers. They all usually have a flag on somewhere. So they're super identifiable. And I'm just rude. I'm as rude as possible. I cut them off in line. I give them dirty looks. I say shit under my...
This person does not do any of this. She doesn't. You know she doesn't.
My breath only they can hear. They will react usually and say, "Why were you so rude?" And I say, "Why are you so stupid?" And then they get really pissed.
Again, she's never done this to a single person. Never.
And then they'll ask me again, "You're fucking rude." Or they'll say, "You're fucking rude." And I'll say, "And you're a fucking Nazi." And they'll go, "What?" And I'll be like, sorry about your luck, man. My grandpa told me I was supposed to beat the fucking brakes off of Nazis, but I'm not violent anymore, so I'm just rude to you motherfuckers now. They do not like that.
Eating again, of course, eating in a car and being super brave.
So much fun. So much fun. I got to tell one that, sorry, bro, but you've been telling us for a decade that being empathetic was weak and woke. I have no empathy for stupid motherfuckers. Get fucked, Nazi.
Oh, yeah. She can tell, and she knows who the mouth breathers are. She knows who. I mean, it's good. Social media is just, it's exactly a real charmer. Yeah, and it's all fantasy. People don't do that in normal human interactions. They just don't. Most of the time, now, we did see the people in Portland get violent over everything, but I don't believe anything that she just said. I do not. I don't believe it. I just do not. All right. So one last thing. Well, I got to look up. Yep, exactly. I think it's a little worn to be laying on the thing today. So, all right. So there is a lawsuit that is going on right now, and it just got interesting. And I didn't hear about it until I saw this the other day. So we know that when you send in a resume to a company, and especially on these big apps like Indeed, and this lawsuit is actually about Workday. So Workday is one of these be-all, end-all HR companies, websites, and they use AI to hire or to decide who gets to move on to the next level, who gets interviews. So this person this is Mobley versus Workday. And this is a job applicant who's over 40, claimed he was rejected every single time, over 80 times, by company using Workday's AI tools. He claims that their algorithms systematically filtered out older applicants. And so the court just the other day said, Workday, so the court allowed Workday put in a motion to dismiss. The judge came back and said, no. Not only am I not going to dismiss this, I am going to turn this into a class action lawsuit, which now opens it up to a giant class of people. And Workday needs to hand over to the plaintiffs a full list of the employers that use AI to rank job applicants. Because what is happening is they're eliminating older people, they're eliminating people with disabilities, they're doing all of the things that are absolutely illegal to do in the job hiring process. This AI is not even letting these people get to the next level. So this was on August 4th. The AI didn't just ghost your resume, it discriminated. A federal judge has ordered Workday to hand over the full list of employees that used AI to rank job applicants. Not just their tech, but every company that enabled HireScore, and it's going to be evidence. This will be explosive. Workday tried to say they didn't even own HireScore when the discrimination lawsuit started. Judge says, nope. If your platform enabled the tech, you're in. So now they have until August 20th to spill which companies used it. And so, age is just a tip of the iceberg. There is so many limiting factors that these AIs use to and it's, we've always heard, I've always been decent at crafting resumes. That's something I've done quite a bit. And you really have to keep them short. And back in the day when people were reviewing resumes, they have a limited amount of time. So you've really got to hit them with not just buzzwords, but actual sentences that will get their attention. Well, then we hear, the AI is doing, is looking at these resumes now. So you got to hit them with certain buzzwords, and you'll usually get through. Well, the AI is getting better at deciphering things. And we're going to have this come up that the AI is not only better at deciphering things, they're actually going to be discriminating. And so the fact that this judge has said not only is... So let's see. So this gives us a little more insight into the plaintiff. A federal judge has ordered Workday to hand over a full list of employers enabled its HireScore AI hiring tech, forcing the company into the spotlight for how its systems may have shaped hiring outcomes across thousands of firms. A lawsuit by Derek Mobley, a black man over 40 with anxiety and depression, alleges that Workday's AI system systematically screeched applicants like him, even when qualified, out of more than 100 jobs in minutes or at odd hours. Full rejection, no interview, no human touch. Judge Lynn allowed his age discrimination claim to move forward as a massive nationwide collective action under the ADEA. Plaintiffs say the tools disproportionately harms older, Black, or disabled job seekers, creating a digital gatekeeper that could keep perpetuating bias by codifying patterns already embedded in training data. So this is going to be huge. This is going to be a landmark case. We're probably not going to, I mean, it's going to take a while to work through the process, but it's yeah, it's going to be interesting to follow this, and oh boy, having to turn over that entire case is just, I mean, this was filed back in June, like the beginning of June, and not only is your lawsuit not thrown out, it's actually been converted into a class action lawsuit. And now you're going to have people just come. I needed a coffee this afternoon. I had to get a coffee this afternoon. Yeah, let's see. What does this say? Da-da-da. All right, share this tab instead. Federal judge allowed a job applicants. I don't know if this was. It says it was 5/2025, so this was maybe back in May, but all right, so so in May they turned it into a class action lawsuit, and then just recently they've said, okay, you need to turn over all of the list of companies that use your software in the thing. So it's crazy. It's just it's going to be interesting to see what firms are affected, how many people use this, how many firms use this, and how it's, I mean, if these firms are discriminating against this really could expand out from just not a lawsuit against Workday. It could expand out to a lawsuit for all of the companies that use this. So if you've got companies, you got thousands of firms or companies out there that use this software that discriminated against people in the hiring process, like illegally discriminated against it, that's potentially huge. And we know what's going on. We know AI is all about all of this stuff. So what? Yep. No, exactly. Get in. Fortunately, I haven't applied for any jobs in the last since 26 years. So what the, oh my God, Patty. Oh, Patty. I can't do it. I can't do it. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Patty shared something with me. It's just I can't. It's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. All right, gosh darn it. So freaking zoos. 2 different zoos this week. All right, let me share this. Gosh darn it, Patty. Oh. So zoos kill 12 healthy baboons it didn't have space for before using as food. And then a zoo in Denmark asked their people to donate their small pets as food for captive predators. Oh. Zoos, what the hell? That's just not right. Like, yes, give us your small pets. Like, that's okay. So this is actually a thing. And we've got stories from the New York Times, CNN, ABC. Oh my good Lord. Denmark Zoo asked people to donate unwanted pets to feed predators and imitate natural food chain. The zoo in Denmark is asking pet owners to donate their unwanted guinea pigs, rabbits, chickens, and even small horses, not to put them on display, but to feed them to the zoo's predators. The Alberg Zoo wrote in a Facebook post, there's no way. They've got to have taken it down by now. Nope. Did you know? This is the post from the zoo. Did you know that you can donate smaller pets to Alberg Zoo? Chickens, rabbits, and guinea pigs make up an important part of the diet of our predators, especially in the European locust, which needs whole prey, which is reminiscent of what would naturally hunt in the wild. In zoos, we have a responsibility to imitate the natural food chain of the animals in terms of both animal welfare and professional integrity. If you have an animal that has to leave for various reasons, they make that sound so good. If you have an animal that has to leave for various reasons, feel free to donate it to us. The animals are gently euthanized by trained staff and afterwards used as fodder. That way nothing goes to waste. Oh my God. Update. Due to much international interest, we have chosen to close the comments section on this post. We understand this post awakens feelings and interest, but hateful and malicious rhetoric is not necessary. We urge you to preserve the good tone. We elaborate and are happy to answer questions in the email box or by inbox or by email. So it looks like a lot of the posts are in. I'm not even sure what language Denmark uses. Can I also donate my healthy but annoying neighborhood children? Is there an age limit? This is a joke, right? No one to bring his healthy pet to a zoo so they could kill it and feed it to their animals. Oh my God. That's insane. That is insane. I think Patty's wrapped up in her planting, maybe. Oh, good grief. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That's just no, it's not. It's not a joke. We live in some crazy times, I tell you. We live in some crazy times. I don't know what's next. I just don't know what's next. Oh yeah. The song about that was pretty catchy. They're eating Oh my goodness. Well, cool. All right. Well, we made it through another Tuesday night. I didn't get any editing done, but maybe I'll try and do that tomorrow. We'll see. I want to do another short for the show. So, yep, kicking up those subscribers. Please hit the like button on the way out. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Really appreciate. Thank you for hanging out and the commentary tonight. I really appreciate it. Lestat Travesty, thank you very much. I'll be back on Thursday at the same time to go through some more craziness. Looks like there was an election in Seattle tonight, and they have decided to try complete socialism. So we'll see how that goes. I don't even know. So, okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And I will catch you guys on Thursday. And on the way out, I've got the video for, it looks like Agent Walker tonight is up. So everybody have a lovely evening, and I will see you later. Okay, bye.
Introducing Agent Charles Walker from the Federal Enforcement Division, or Fed.
Misinformation is getting to be a very serious problem. It really interferes with what we are trying to do.
And what are you trying to do?
Excellent question. I'm afraid that's classified. You don't have the clearance.
Agent Walker is always a team player and appreciates the efforts of his colleagues.
You know those bum idiots. This is all them. We had a solid case.
Agent Walker is a master interrogator and would never take things out of context to influence an interview.
My cousin Mindy is the bomb. I'm just seeing a lot of incendiary and violent language here. Somebody could see a call to action in these words.
A call to action for what?
Well, you tell us. They're your words. You wrote them.
Agent Walker, a calm, patient presence in the fight against misinformation.
These people can't even do stuff that's actually good enough for government work.